Well, I was going to say we can wait for Matt if you want, but it's up to you or up to him, I guess.
He said to get going.
I think you're the chair, so it's up to you.
Yep.
All right. Well, we'll call the meeting to order then, and the roll has been taken. So the first order of business is approval of the minutes from the Planning Commission meeting on May 4th, 2020. And I'll entertain a motion to approve unless they got changes. So
Move approval.
Or
all right, got movement and support for approving the minutes. The May 4th, 2020 Planning Commission meeting. All those in favor say aye, and I take it Aaron's going to do a roll on that one, right?
That's correct. Let's get started with Don.
Yes.
Greg.
Yes.
Jim.
Yes.
Ellen.
yes.
Let's see who else I'm missing here. Apologies.
Heather and Michelle.
Yeah, Heather.
Yes.
Michelle.
Yes.
Okay. Motion passes.
All right. The next order of business is a public hearing for a special use permit for a group daycare home. A request to consider a special use permit for a group daycare home at 609 Richmond Street. The location is further described by parcel number 2951 343-02800. The zoning for this parcel is R1, single family residential. R1 zoning districts do permit group daycare homes with the issuance of a special use permit and licensing through the state of Michigan. And we'll let Eric start it out, and then we'll go with opening up the hearing. So,
okay. Like you mentioned, this is located at 609 Richmond Avenue. Evelyn Bradley is online with us tonight, and she's been very patient. We were hoping to be face-to-face by this point, but here we are. We'll get this done, and so she can get going with the state of Michigan. Her home is not located within 500 feet of another a licensed daycare home. That is a requirement of ours. They can't be closer than 500 feet. And I verified this by checking out the state of Michigan database for licensed family group and daycare centers. Play area will be located in the yard to the northwest of the home. Obviously, the home is required to meet the minimum standards for exterior maintenance as the rest of the neighborhood. Currently, there's no signage on the home. I did put some pictures in there of the home for you to take a look at. There's no signage there, but if there is a request for one, be subject to the sign ordinance. The home is subject to fire and traffic safety standards set by the state of Michigan, the city of Alma, as determined by the Alma Police and Fire Chiefs. The caretaker must maintain control of noise. So if we receive complaints in the neighborhood, that's something that can be dealt with. Once the group daycare license is issued by the state of Michigan, the owner must register with 911 dispatch center. And the requesting individual for this license is the homeowner, the owner of the home, and the president, and resides in the residence of this home. The license holder and employees are subject to background checks and approval by the chief of police. And like I said, I did provide some photos. The home is located on Richmond and an alley that has not been vacated there. So other than that, I did receive one comment through this, and I did attach that to your packet, and that's homeowner Kimberly Herman at 915 North Court. She basically stated to me that she's not in favor of the group daycare home, feels it's not a good fit for the neighborhood, and shouldn't be allowed in residential areas. Her and I did have a discussion about special use permits and what that means, and a homeowner that meets the requirements of special use can and will be permitted their special use permit, but they must continue to uphold the standards of that special use permit, or it could be revoked by the city. So, but she still felt that that was her stance on it. So I told her that will be made part of the packet.
Yep, I read that. So, anybody else got any comments or anything?
Not at this point, other than I know several people that are looking for childcare, so I think the demand's going to be there. I think
Oh,
my
yeah,
daughter is
right.
one of them, actually, so we certainly need it in town.
Yes,
Do you have
we
any
do.
questions for me?
I have none.
All right. Any other comments or anything? Then I'll ask for a motion to close the hearing.
This is Jim. I'll move we close the hearing.
All right.
I'll second.
All right. I got motion and support to close the hearing. All those in favor say aye, and we'll let Aaron do the roll call.
Very good. We'll start with you, Don.
Yes.
Greg,
Aye.
Jim,
Yes.
Heather,
Yes.
Michelle,
Yes.
Ellen,
Yes.
and Matt.
Yes.
Great. Motion passes.
All right. Thank you, everyone. The next part of it, I guess, is to approve it. So
I'll make a motion. I'll make a motion. We approve it.
All right. Got a
Second.
motion? Got a motion and support to approve the special use permit. All those in favor say aye. And Aaron, again, we'll let you do the roll call.
Don,
Yes.
Greg,
Aye.
Jim,
Aye.
Heather,
Yes.
Michelle,
Yes.
Ellen,
Yes.
Matt.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion passes.
And that sounded unanimous to me, so. All right. The
Congratulations.
next thing
Thank you.
is,
Thank you.
all right, the next is a public hearing for a zoning map amendment, a request to rezone 615 East Downey Street, parcel number 2951-343-52100, by the owner Avalon and Tahoe Manufacturing. Let's see, from R1 single family residential to L1 light and industrial. This parcel is adjacent to Avalon's main facility. The parcel would be used as a product and equipment storage. And so we'll let Eric say what's his part here, and then we'll open it up to public comment. So,
All right. Thanks, Don. As you can see in your packets, Avalon and Tahoe did purchase what is known as the old middle school fields from the public school. And obviously they've been, growing over the last few years. And right now they're running out of space to store product, boats, that sort of thing. So what they're looking to do right now, because obviously it's zoned R1 right now, being able to store a boat or anything else over there wouldn't be allowed at this point. Jim Blick is on the line, so he can speak to it a little bit more in depth and any questions. But it's adjacent to their facility there, which is zoned LI, light industrial, and that does provide them the opportunity to request this rezoning. We did send out, as our requirements are, the 300-foot letters to the neighborhood, and the notice in the paper. We did receive back one comment by email, and I did make that part of your packet. Arthur Baker was the name of the gentleman who sent in the comment. And his comments weren't necessarily against it altogether, but just had some concerns. Right now, they're hauling some dirt back there to get ready to put in some berming and some other things that need to be done for get it ready for storage of the building or boats. But Jim Blick can speak to some of their ideas of where they're going to go in the next few months that could, basically take care of some of the concerns that Mr. Baker has here. Other than Mr. Baker's comments, I have not received anything by phone call or someone just stopping by or anything like that. I don't think, Aaron, have you received anything else from anybody?
I have not, no.
Okay.
Eric?
But yeah.
I did have a discussion that I mentioned to you too with Randy Minyard, who lives right there. And basically the question was contained in here. It's just what could be some eventual uses for the land. Then I'm not sure if Randy's on here tonight or not, but I just want to make sure that was noted.
All right. So I guess my question was, I mean, they're hauling dirt back there right now on Euclid, but that wouldn't probably normally be any kind of heavy traffic back and forth in there just for boat storage, would it? Necessarily?
Do you want me to answer that, Aaron? Address
Yes,
those
please, Jim.
issues?
Yep.
Hi, it's Jim
Yep.
Blake. So the traffic right now is Ward Excavating working on our parking lot. So that's soil from the east lot. We have nowhere else to put it. So we have to take it through the city streets and to get it into that and dump it temporarily. Maybe it'll stay there. Probably not. A lot of that will go for a berm along Downey. So that's just temporary. And I would ask the residents just to pardon our dust, I guess. And they can feel free to contact me here at Avalon if they have specific issues with that. So that should be very temporary. Future access will go through our plant. Makes no sense to go all the way around for us. Eventually, perhaps, when that becomes a parking lot, we'll have a gate and a pathway leading into there. So all traffic, shortest route possible is from our current West Boatyard into that field rather than going through the streets.
Okay, that's kind of what I was figuring too. It didn't make a lot of sense for you to go back and forth around that way.
Right.
So, all right. Any other comments? Anybody else want to make comments? Or questions?
This is Jim again. I would say to everyone for future use, because of the lowness of that property, we just have no plans right now specifically, but in the future, it's low, it's far away from main production, so it's not efficient to build a building there and move product back and forth. I can't foresee that being anything but boat storage in the future. Maybe cold storage, pole barn, cold storage, but I don't see production going there. It just doesn't make, from a production perspective, it doesn't make much sense.
All right. Thank you very much. Well, with that, I'll entertain a motion to close the public hearing if nobody else has any questions.
Move approval.
Support.
All right. We got a motion and support to close the public hearing. All those in favor say yes. And Aaron, you're up again.
Don,
Yes.
Greg,
Yes.
Jim,
Yes.
Heather,
Yes.
Michelle,
Yes.
Ellen,
Yes.
and Matt.
Yes.
All right, thank you very much. That passes.
I just have a
Very much.
question about that property. I went walking there on Saturday. What happened to the sidewalk going up to the bridge to Euclid? Did that get washed away with the flood?
You've been there since I have, so I don't know.
Yes, the wooden structure that connects to that bridge got washed away during the flood, and we're waiting for that to dry up a little bit before we can get back there and see what we can do to put it back together. But
Okay. I saw it down the way, and I thought, well, that must have been moved by the river.
All right. With
Sidewalk
that,
nowhere.
I'll entertain a motion to make a recommendation to the city commission for approval on the zoning map amendment.
Make that a motion.
Support.
All right. Got motion and support to make the recommendation to the city commission for this zoning amendment. All those in favor say yes. And Aaron's up again.
All right, Don.
Yes.
Okay, Greg,
Yes.
Jim, Heather,
Yes.
Michelle,
Yes.
Ellen,
Yes.
Matt.
Yes.
Thank
All
you.
right. Sounds unanimous again. Thank you very much. With that, it passed.
Thank you all.
All right. The
Thank you.
next one is a public hearing for conditional rezoning. Elma College has submitted a conditional rezoning request for the Altman House located 803 West Center Street, parcel 2951 042 06200. The requested use would provide overnight rental accommodations utilizing 3 private suites. And with that, I'll let Eric let us talk about that again, and then we'll open it up for a public hearing.
Okay. like you stated, it's at 803 West Center Street. It's also known as the Altman House. What the college would like to do is something very similar to what they do with Alumni House, is provide some overnight accommodations for parents and coaches or anybody else that's coming in to utilize the college or just visit the community. Like you said, there's 3 private suites that would be modified to allow for this function. I did provide some photos of the structure itself. It sits on the corner there of Philadelphia and West Center Street. For parking standpoint, we do have enough room there to park 2 cars in the garage and very easily park 2 cars in the driveway pad. So what we're recommending under the preliminary use restrictions is that the 4 vehicles be on site. And like the college mentions in their letter of request, that for other vehicles, they would be able to utilize parking lots that the college owns or the rest of the grass parking. Like with our, any of the times that we've done with these, like I guess the best way to call them is a B&B rooming house. The house must be rolled in the City of Alma's rental program for an annual inspection. In the event in the future, if the property was sold, the seller and a buyer must notify the city of the impending sale, and then the new owner would state if they want to continue to use this conditional use for this overnight use, and then that this conditional rezoning agreement would be transferred to the new owner. But like with all these conditional rezonings, in the event that the sale and the property owner or the new owner does not wish to continue this use, the property will revert back to the single-family R1 zoning district classification. The only other comment we have right now is if the conditional use is approved ultimately by the City Commission, that the owner would apply and receive all required permits for building, electrical, plumbing needed for the change of use for the overnight accommodations. And then for the Planning Commission and the public's reference, we did put in a draft conditional rezoning agreement with those primary use restrictions that were presented by the college. So I know Ryan is here from the college to speak on that, and I think Doug is too. Yep, Doug is on here also. Doug Dice is on here also. But from a staff standpoint, we've done one of these in the past, and we haven't had any issues with that. And we did have one comment from property owner that I did provide to you. It was by email, and they did not have any objections to it, and they were hoping that the college could do a nice job as they did on the house they restored at 723 West Center Street. So that's all I have.
All right. Anybody got any comments or questions? It sounds like a good deal to me. So
Agreed.
I hear silence. All right. With no more questions or comments, I'll entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Got a motion and support to close the public hearing. All those in favor say yes. And again, Aaron, you're up.
Hey, glad to. Don?
Yes.
Greg?
Yes.
Jim?
Yes.
Heather?
Yes.
Michelle?
Yes.
Ellen?
Yes.
And Matt?
Yes.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you all. All right. I guess the next order of business is to, if everybody agrees with the conditions, we'll make a recommendation to the City Commission. So I'll entertain a motion to do that.
Motion.
Support.
All right. Got motion and support to recommend the conditional rezoning to the City Commission. All those in favor say yes.
Don.
Aaron again.
Yes. Okay. Greg?
Yes.
Jim?
Yes.
Heather?
Yes.
Michelle?
Yes.
Ellen?
Yes.
And Matt?
Yes.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you all. We got that one done pretty quick too. All right.
Thank you
The
all.
next order of business is a PUD preliminary plan submittal and set a public hearing. A preliminary plan, planned unit development plan has been submitted by, that's a mouthful, submitted by Gemini Capital Management 9 LLC for the property located at 319 East Downey. The property number is 2951 344 57700. The procedure for review requires a pre-application conference, a determination of PUD eligibility, and a neighborhood meeting. All these steps have been completed. The next step is for the preliminary plan to be introduced to the Planning Commission and for the Planning Commission to set and hold a public hearing for the submitted preliminary PUD plan. And hopefully everybody had a chance to look at that. It really, I think that's a pretty nice looking project he's got going there. Really. So with that, we'll entertain any questions or whatever and comments and all that, and then we can set a public hearing.
Well, from staff's point of view, this meets our requirements for our preliminary request from the developer. As you can see, this one's a lot more elaborate than our one we just did over on Michigan Avenue. It's a large project, and hopefully you were the board's able to get through it. And like I said, we'll have until next month, for the public hearing to review the plan. But the elevations and the aerial renderings that have been provided kind of give you a better feel and scope of what the project will look like. But it's ready for your introduction and for setting a public hearing. Ryan Smith is on, so if you'd like to provide anything for the commission or ask any questions from the commission to Ryan, feel free.
Yeah, I'm here. I can take any questions that the group has.
I have none. Looks like a good plan to me.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
It looks like it doesn't. It looks so modern. Gives me some ideas for my house.
Yeah. It's like building a whole neighborhood in one block, right? One big block.
Yeah.
But I think it will fit nicely with the existing housing stock that's around that neighborhood. So
Yes.
Right.
I think you did a nice job of fitting things together there.
Yep.
Thank you.
I think as we spoke before, anything that's come up in any of the meetings, Ryan's went over and above to make sure to address that in this current plan of where he's at. And if this is a preliminary plan, I can't wait to see the full plan, because this is pretty in depth and really answers a lot of the questions that anyone could have. Very pleased to see this, Ryan. Thank you.
Yeah, happy to present it. And again, any questions now from the Planning Commission would be great, because surprises at public hearings aren't always the best. So if you have questions now, let me know and I can answer them. Or if you want changes made, it would give me a whole month to make any of your changes that you might want to see.
No, I like all the trees and everything that you have along the outside. I like that, and then I like how all the sidewalks go right up to the center of the porches and stuff, and meets all the requirements. So I think it looks great.
Like when you say that, Michelle, I guess that does lead me to a question. It looks like the trees are in the street right away, or in the public right away. So are you planning on planting those trees? Is that Ryan's obligation or is that ours?
Yeah, so the drawing shows them there. We hadn't got far enough down the line yet to talk to the city about that. This is from the landscape architect. So I don't know. I don't have the answer to that question. It's kind of what they've drawn in there, and it's more for reference right now. And I think that we're going to finalize it later down the road with Dave Ringel and Eric and Matt and whoever else from the city that wants to have input on it.
Okay. Because after Michelle mentioned that, it did catch my eye that it looks like there's an awful lot of trees there too.
Yeah. This is the preliminary plan. I think that this tree plan is going to change when I come back in a few months for final, but this is kind of what we're massaging right now.
Okay.
I guess
the nice
what I
thing
meant,
is you are planning plans.
it looks like mean, obviously I didn't mean you're going to plant every single tree, but it just looks like a neighborhood. You know, the other streets around it are, you just didn't put a building there is what I'm saying.
Right.
You made it look like a neighborhood.
Yeah, I think that's what the architect was going for. Now, you
Yeah.
know, the exact species of the trees and all that, we're still determining those for root systems and, you know, long-term care of them and all that. But it's more just to give you a feel.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, thanks, Ryan. I think you're really gone over and above on that one. That's for sure. It looks really good. So
Good.
If you do take a look at some of the other things that Ryan's looking at trying to do with energy efficiencies and even putting in some car charging stations for residents. So he's some forward-looking pieces in this development that you don't necessarily see all the time.
Yeah, so thanks for bringing that up, Eric. So the electric vehicle charging stations, those will be for public use. So anybody from the public can park there, charge their vehicle, hopefully walk downtown, go shopping, get a bite to eat, and come back and pick up their car. So that'll be available for the public, and I think there's only maybe one other station around Gratiot County right now at all. I think it's over by Consumers and over by the Rite Aid. But other than that, we don't even have any more in Gratiot County.
I think there's one going in downtown as part of the Opera House block project.
Gotcha.
So we definitely going to need more of them going forward. So that is very, very good thinking.
Yep. And like Eric said, also trying to put solar panels on majority of the buildings to offset the electric uses. And again, just thinking long term that's best for everybody.
Very good.
yep, looks and sounds good. So if nobody has any other questions, I'll entertain a motion to set the public hearing for July 6, 2020 at or soon after 6 p.m.
Move to approve.
Support.
All right. I got a motion and support, set public hearing for the PUD preliminary plan submittal and set up, and it'll be
Don, Hey, Don,
yeah.
before you, are we all covered on July 6th as far as having a quorum?
No.
That's kind of the 4th of July weekend, just to make,
yeah, it'll be the Monday after, right?
Too, so
what's that?
I'll be there.
we got released too.
Yeah.
No places.
Yeah, exactly. I just want to make sure we have a quorum, so we don't stumble on that side of it. So I'll be here, I know that, so.
And I plan on being here as well.
I'll be here.
I'll be here.
All right.
I'll
Sorry to
be
interrupt
where
you.
I can be available on the iPad. That's
All right. Sorry to interrupt you, Don.
no, that's all right. So anyway, I got a motion and support to set a public hearing for July 6, 2020 at or soon after 6 p.m. So all those in favor say yes, and Aaron, you're up again for the one more time.
Oh, second to last. We got to close too.
Second to last.
Yeah. Don,
Yes.
Greg,
Yes.
Jim,
Yes.
Heather,
Yes.
Michelle,
Yes.
Ellen,
Yes.
and Matt.
Yes.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Thank you all. And then any new business there, Eric?
No.
Really? Wow. All right.
Yes, sir.
Nothing yet, anyway. All right. We'll
Nothing
take
yet.
Jim's usual motion. All I need is a second for it.
I'll second.
All right. I got a motion and support to adjourn the hearing. All those in favor say yes. And Aaron's, you're up one last time.
Yep. One last time. Don,
Yes.
Greg,
Yes.
Jim,
Yes.
Heather,
Yes.
Michelle,
Yes.
Ellen,
Yes.
and Matt.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you
Hey.
all.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Evening.
Apologize for
Have a
being a
great
little late.
evening.
Had a little technical difficulty to get me. Not I had you going on 3 different screens at once. So I was in all over the place. But sorry about that.
Maybe next month we can meet face to face, huh?
That'd be nice for a change.
Nice.
Yeah, it would.
Yes.
So,
All right.
thank
Good night,
you all.
everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
See ya.
Safe.
Night.